Today we're here and discussing how to win more in the Alley of Blood. Last night I was live on the channel and I played a bunch of this game mode. We put together a bunch of tips for you so that you can bring in more victories when you're playing this amazing new game mode that I'm actually liking a lot. So first things first, let's kind of tell you what this game mode is about and then give you a bunch of tips that were also shared with me by Kevin. We've seen him on the channel before. It's actually his gameplay we're looking at right now of his beastly monk that is essentially unkillable. At this point in time, Kevin is undefeated in the Alley of Blood. Let's just keep that in mind as we progress forward. So what is this new game mode? Basically, it's a MOBA style game mode. As you could tell, you have one lane down the center, and as you go down that one lane, there are the 3 blue pillars and 3 red pillars. The blue pillars are the ones that you need to defend, and the red pillars are the ones that you need to take down. Whichever team takes those pillars down of their opponents first is the winner. That's essentially your goal. There's a lot of things that are going to help you along the way, including an additional 5th skill. There are many different ones that we have inside of this game mode that you get to choose from that will aid in either protecting your pillars, enhancing your teammates, or dropping more tankage down for you as you go try to do some damage to other players, to other giants or tanks or other pillars that are up. We're going to get into those skills a little bit later. Additionally, you'll notice in the top left that your players are all down to rank 60. Everyone's even. The gear is all even. There is no stance gear, so only 6 essences can be used. This is another example of an even playing field. Now, this is also an example of what the Shadow versus Immortal and all that element of the game is going to look like. We're able to play it right now as a PvP mode, which I will say I hope remains, because I absolutely enjoy this more than Battlegrounds, 10 times more than Battlegrounds. This is so much more fun, and it's also so much more fair from what I've experienced as well. So I hope that this stays as a game mode for people to play, as well as part of the Shadow versus Immortals if that's what it was intended for. Additionally, when you die inside of this game mode, because I have died plenty, you have an amazing spectator mode so you could watch your teammates in their battle while you're resurrecting. I love this because not only is it a cool mode, but it also opens up the ability to make this more competitive. I know that Blizzard said they never wanted to take Diablo Immortal into esports, but the ability is there, even if it's for players who want to create some type of a league themselves. More on that later, maybe some great things to come. We'll just have to see, and we'll have to see how this spectator mode develops. Now, as I mentioned, Kevin has given me a bunch of tips along the way that he ordered as far as what's the most important to what's the least important, but they are all still very important. So let's go through his goals so that you can win more inside of the Alley of Blood. And the first tip is to just avoid death. You need to try and stay alive. Now it sounds kind of obvious, and I will read his tips verbatim as well. Not only will you respawn slower and slower the more often you die, the opponents can gain an avalanche of power from marks, guardians, and towers dropped. So what does this mean? When you die, when a tower goes down, or when guardians, which I called a few moments ago, giants, when they go down, they drop marks. They are these silver glistening things, and they look like diamonds. You'll notice over Kevin's head right there, he has the number 35. He's holding 35 marks. The more marks you hold, the more damage percentage you do. You become stronger. If you kill an opponent, if you kill a guardian, or if you take down a tower, marks are dropped that you can pick up to strengthen you, to make it harder to battle against you inside of the event as a whole. Now, if you die, you drop a bunch of your marks, not all of them, but a good number of them, and someone else could pick them up and gain that strength from you. So many reasons why you don't want to die. You don't want to lose your marks, you don't want to give up your marks, and well, you just don't want to die because you can't fight in the battlefield, and respawn times just take a while. Next up is you want to power up. You can accumulate a maximum of 99 marks. Notice right now, Kevin is beating down on that guardian. Once that guardian goes down, the marks will be dropped, and him or his teammates can pick them up. I actually did not see the marks dropping right there. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. You move, the more you get, the faster you match momentum will swing in your favor. So if you have more marks, you're stronger, and the momentum of the entire match will be organically and naturally more in your favor. So powering up with the marks is something that's pretty important to do. Number 3, his third tip is to protect your guardians. Your guardians are your tanks. As you can see right now, Kevin is going and beating down the opponent's guardian. But you don't want the guardians to just take each other out. If the red guardian and the blue guardian just stood stalemate, they would basically beat each other down until there was no health left on either of them, and you'd have no tank to help protect you as you go forward towards these pillars that you're trying to take down. So, as he says, guardians spawn for each side from the heart and progress up the alley, only stopping to destroy structures or enemy guardians. Towers will prioritize guardians, so only attack them while a guardian is tanking for you. So, you don't want to go after those pillars or the towers, call them what you will, unless if a guardian is in the ring. Just like any MOBA you've ever played before. If you decide to go into the ring and attack a tower or a crystal inside of any of these MOBAs, that tower or that crystal will take you down. It will attack you. Your guardian must be in the ring, being targeted by the tower, then you're able to go in and attack it so you don't take damage. Prioritize killing enemy guardians to give yours no obstacles in pushing the key ground to hold towards the enemy heart. What he means by this is when a guardian is going towards your guardian and when your guardian is going towards their guardian, kill their guardian so your guardian has a full health to go up to that tower and so that it can tank even longer and more effectively for you. Guardians are important. Plus, when you take down your opponent's guardians, they drop more of the marks, and we could pick those up, which is also quite nice. Now, talking about the build. PvP builds here should be fine. If you want to tailor something for the event, make sure you include escaping skills to avoid getting mobbed and killed. Evasion skills are very important. As I'm using my Blood Knight right now, I'm actually utilizing 2 of them because I want to avoid death. I want to be able to hightail out of there, go to some healing pots, or go to some type of, or go bandage myself up, because it's important that you don't die. So make sure you have agility built in there. And yes, this is a PvP game mode. So although we're not utilizing all of our resonance or any of that, or there's actually 0 resonance, your build overall and the essences you use should be similar to what you're using in Battlegrounds. I'm sure I'll have some builds specific to this game mode on the channel soon enough. Worth doing to practice for future Shadow Wars. No matter how strong your character is, we can all participate, and that is the biggest thing here. Resonance is mattering less and less in Diablo Immortal for the new game modes coming out, to the point where I'm going to be using the Viper's Bite instead of using a 5-star gem. That's right, I'm going to be replacing my 5-star with a 2-star, because I feel that I'm going to get more value out of that and be able to awaken the slot, which will be fantastic, and awakened slots will benefit me during these events more than resonance, which is irrelevant. Now, let's talk about the specialization skills. This is that 5th skill that you see right now with a 53-second cooldown on it. There are many different ones you could choose from, and I believe it's only 2 players from your team can choose the same one. So you have to use ones that you think are going to benefit your class, your play style, etc., etc. Siege skills are especially useful for overwhelming and distracting your opponents. Try to cast Servant before enemy guardians to clear a path for your guardian. All right, and look at this. He's pulling in the victory right here. This is what it looks like when you are victorious. It's definitely a lot of fun, but I want to get back to the specialization skills as well. So we're going to continue right here, and we are back. All right. Try to cast the Servant before the enemy guardian to clear a path for your guardian. Again, you want your guardian to be protected. If you cast too far, it'll be wasted without team support, running to the next structure, or die while deactivated because you are protecting your guardian. I particularly like things that are skills that are gonna drop additional enemies or additional protection or additional damage on the battlefield. I want some type of a guardian to protect me. I want some type of a turret to protect or something like that. Those are the ones that I particularly pick. There are support ones as well. Stone Hex is the most effective attacking specialization skill for killing an opponent, and Anguishing Brand can help claw back marks without needing to kill when the balance of marks is tipping to an enemy. So those are two of the skills that he really likes right there. What I'm going to most likely do is take all of his notes on some of the best things that we can do and some of the best tips for this game mode, and I'm going to put them in the description of this video so that you guys can make sure that if you want to read through them as well while we discuss them, you can do just that. Now remember, it remains to be unseen if the increased stats in Shadow Wars can essentially negate all of the strategy that we're talking about, because remember, this is how the Shadow Immortal Wars and the Shadow Wars are going to battle out. And remember, you can gain different increased stats throughout battles in the Shadow versus Immortal stuff. This guide is more focused on this game mode as a game mode. I additionally hope that Blizzard maintains this game mode inside of the game, not just as practice so we get to experience it at Shadows versus Immortals, but also so that we can play this game mode every day, or at least on some type of a cycle with other PvP events. So Blizzard, if you're listening, please, this game mode is very good. It's very enjoyable. It's, in my opinion, better than Battlegrounds, which is around 100% of the time. So I would love it. I shouldn't say 100. It's around every day. I would love it if this game mode was around as well. I understand that the game was built on Battlegrounds and resonance really affects Battlegrounds, and that's important for monetization of the game. But this game mode is fun. Straight up, it's good, it's enjoyable, it's being accepted well by the community. Let's see more of the things that people love. Hope this guide was helpful to you. I hope that you now have a few tips to pull in a few extra wins as you take down the Alley of Blood. And again, I want to thank Kevin for supplying me with some of the tips and his guidance along the way, as he always does. I appreciate it. And guys, if you want more tips on Diablo Immortal, if you want to be part of my live streams, which I'm trying to do weekly, or if you just want to be part of the community and hang out with me for videos that I put out every single day, please consider subscribing so you don't miss my videos every day.